Sorry for cutting you off. What are you going to say, ZP?
No, I was going to say, one thing I wanted to note there, too, when it comes to the Mei is that I like where Mei is right now, where Mei is in a situation where not every team is running her, and yet we still see situations where teams do like running the Mei and do get significant value out of her, so I kind of feel like balance-wise, Mei might be in a really, really good spot right now. Sort of a more overarching meta discussion on the game, but I like where you have that situation where you have a hero that can be useful, but you don't feel like you have to run it in every setup, and truth be told, teams have been running a lot of Soldier recently, but seeing Surefour come out with McCree, seeing Grim Reality come out with the McCree, I do wonder if we're going to see that situation where maybe teams have knee-jerked a little bit too much towards Soldier, and we'll be seeing more teams run McCree a little bit more often.
I think especially for teams that do have top-tier McCrees, such as Cloud9, you would want at least Surefour or Mendo on the McCree. And we even saw them play this map yesterday. They did run a dive comp setup with Surefour and Genji, and they did have Mendo on McCree, I believe. So I wouldn't surprise me if they were to do that again. They're kind of setting it up this time, except they're switching roles with Surefour and McCree. And Mendo on Genji maybe it didn't work out as much as they wanted to, but this is a type of map that you should be doing that on.
Interesting. I don't think we'll see this comp really go forward in its entirety here. I mean, it would kind of be good, but of course the Genji McCree's super interesting actually, because you have varying degrees of dive, or you have a little bit there, of course, with the Genji, but you want to back it up with a Winston or something similar. We used to see Winston Genji Diva on this map just to tackle big L's mostly, and you know that obviously had varying degrees of success depending if there was a McCree up top side or anyone with burst like a Roadhog or something similar. So we'll see now. Yeah, they got the Winston, so I'm okay with this one. It's not the beefiest dive comp. It's not exactly the highest durability dive available, but I mean, I like to see Surefour on that McCree. If you can pick someone off here, it'd be big.
I do like seeing Surefour on McCree, but I do wonder if the Tracer would be a little bit better here, just to go full-on mega dive. Yeah. Surefour channeling his inner soon with Mendo, but regardless, you will be seeing Mendo and Kai go in here at the same time. They will be trying to disrupt Big Earls, and for now, there's actually a lot of progress in the payload being made. Faze being very tentative about actually contesting this, and this may give C9 a nice engage. Mendo coming in right from the side, doesn't immediately go down, but does fall the rockets right after. So with Mendo down, Faze, you're going to see them be a lot more aggressive here on this defense. They know they have the 6v5 advantage. Now, they don't want to give up an early pick, but they do have the Roadhog, which means every 6 seconds they're going to be able to apply even more pressure to C9 as they wait for Mendo to get back in.
Oh, this is really awkward. They're losing so much time trying to get 3 players out of the fire here. Rip's going to be caught. So we saw Kai back off really, really quickly with a rocket jump there. He did leave 3 of his players alone. And that's generally not a problem, but there may be an argument to be made for if you have a bubble or something like that, you can help those 3 players get away from Big Earls. It seemed like he was disengaging, and then the other half of his team were like, well, we can't really get away here. We're hoping to use Rib Shield to back away, and they got jumped on. So not great. They're a bit of ultimate percent now, but they are coming back in. And we'll see Kai how he's going to work with Mendo here. If there is going to be a full-on dive, they're going to work around the side, actually. So this is interesting. The hook, that can make life a little bit harder. Kai drops a bubble immediately, and now look at that hook on the top. Using the Transcendence, giving the healing. Sound Barrier going to come out here for Faze, and with Raucus and Kai both being traded out, this fight is still in the mix.
The fight's still in the mix, and Mendo having a rough time getting good value out of the Dragon Blade does finally get Zombs towards the very end, but there is Factor Fiction trying to be a difference maker, dropping the Earth Shower, but one good Earth Shower deserves another. Rib drops the hammer, knocks down 2, and puts C9 over the top here for this fight. And a fight that initially was actually looking a little bit rough with that engagement and early hook from the side of Faze.
I really like Surefour here as well on anti-Roadhog duty as McCree, and that might not sound intuitive, but when his hook is down, Roadhog gets absolutely trashed by McCree. And it's super easy to hit headshots on him, alright? It's a massive hitbox, so I think like 3 headshots and he's done. So, you know, if you can identify those windows where Roadhog doesn't have the hook available, McCree can just style on him and not really care, you know, with the exception of the odd right click, but you know your ranges, you're fine. Pushing into the second point, 3 minutes now on the clock here for Cloud9. They've got the Deadeye, they've got Kai ready for Primal Rage now as well. Great to knock those pesky Faze players off the bridge.
Indeed, and in general, McCree just really strong when no one's on him, but here we go. Defense deciding to get a little bit aggressive with this. Zombs with the Tac Visor coming in over the top, gonna force out the Transcendence from the defense, and defense willing to charge back out. Rib being a little bit aggressive on the Factor Fiction, will fall for that push, but it is 5v5. Mendo going to fall before he gets the Dragon Blade out though, but still very even, and this is where Surefour can really excel. It's late stages in fights where McCree can get pick after pick, but not when too easy. Comes in with the hook, and Surefour's trying to be the hero there towards the end, but the real hero the fight here, Uber, was too easy. Landed several key hooks to keep Faze on top.
Yeah, I like how you brought that up about McCree as well. He's one of the best janitors in Overwatch. If you are mid-fight, it's like a couple supports, maybe a tank that's not Roadhog in the mix. He can do so much there. But Too Easy hooked him. He found the priority target in amongst all the chaos of the fight. But you can see the Faze have to back up. They lost a couple players and got mildly staggered, so they did need to give a little bit of ground, but they still have good high ground control here with Zombs. You can see that Shawfall is going for extreme range McCree shots here, which is hard to land. And Kai into the backline, immediately hooked, immediately taken down by Too Easy. Brilliant Earth Shatter from Rib. That's massive stuff there. Adam finds Too Easy as he lies prone on the ground, and again Rib going ham. His Reinhardt has won them both the key fights so far on this attacking side. Stunning and stellar work, I have to say.
So that's really interesting how that panned out, where even though Kai got immediately bopped, there was a lot of people focusing on him. It wasn't just the hook, it was most of C9, or sorry, it was most of FaZe that was looking at Kai trying to take him out, but while they were doing that, all of a sudden, here comes Rib. They're not looking at Rib, he drops the Earth Shatter, knocks down 3, and it set up all sorts of cleanup opportunities for Sure4 and Mendo, so even if you immediately die in Overwatch as a tank, if you've created enough of a distraction that your team can capitalize on it, it's not bad at all.
Kai up on the high ground here, down up from Shawfall. That shield is still going to be an issue. In fact, Fixings hasn't been broken yet. Shawfall tried to angle and find a decent opening, but no, it wasn't going to be there. And now the sound barrier, not really used for any fight there. You see, they sort of backed away. The whole hog made it impossible for Cloud9 to engage and essentially wasted the sound barrier from Adam. They lack that. They at least have the Transcendence though for the next fight. But again, it'll be a matter of setting up, and Kai doesn't have a mech, so he's going to have to wait.
Sure4 getting Shadowburn early on to that fight. Now, without Shadowburn, you're not going to have that gun there. He's going to be down. It's 2 kills to nothing favor C9. And FaZe, they have no choice but to back out here. And again, you look at Sure4 laying shot on shot inside Roadhog. 78% of the damage onto him. So the headshot damage, as mentioned before, Uber, very, very strong for C9. They're keeping momentum in their favor. And now for FaZe, they're going to have to rush out here in not great position. They blow the early sound barrier, and here they go.
Yeah, we're pushing forward now as well, but Kai's in the backline. That's a bit of a weird Earth Shatter from Fact Fiction. It doesn't even get Mendo with the charge, and Shawfall was free to get the pick off on Too Easy with that Deadeye. Shadowburn's trying to challenge him out here, but I mean, Mendo's going to one-up and go with the Dragon Blade. Finds Forsaken as well. That payload's getting across the line. 1 minute and 26 seconds. And seeing Shawfall and Mendo on comfort picks like that is a pleasure. To finish Route 66 and have a minute and a half in the time bank, you're not complaining about that whatsoever.
Especially considering how strong the map started for FaZe. That is a great time for Cloud9.
I gotta say, one thing that's really been a trend over the last month or so, I'd say, or actually it's more just like the last few weeks in the advent of the recent patch, is that we all thought going in that we'd be seeing teams really dominate with triple tank comps, in particular the Reinhardt, D.Va, Roadhog, and while it's certainly been effective, it feels like teams have been doing better when they stick to what they're really comfortable on. We certainly saw that with Misfits at DreamHack, and then you take a look at what C9 just ran there, where they sort of threw the current meta to the winds. They weren't running a soldier, they ran with the Genji, it was Genji McCree, and yet it worked out really well for them. So sometimes I wonder if teams psych themselves out on what is really strong in a particular patch.
Well, there are two things I would say to that, ZP. One, some of the maps do lend a much better time to running dive comp when they're much more open. So maps like Gibraltar, Eichenwald, and Route 66, it's much easier to run Genji and to have a hit scan with it just because you have the space to be able to do that. And the other thing is, in talking to a lot of these top teams, they've wanted to try to run triple tank, even though they're probably more comfortable running 2-2-2 because of how prevalent and how strong it is right now to have a D.Va and a Roadhog on your team. If you don't have at least some experience and practice with it, and you go up against a team that's run it for a very long time, such as Complexity or NIP, and you're not able to mirror it a little bit, you're just going to get run over. So I think some of it is really these teams having to just try to push through and make it work, even though they're more comfortable on the more standard style of play.
Well, gentlemen, let's prepare ourselves here. It will be on the attacking side, FaZe Clan now as well. Hoping to replicate or better what we saw from Cloud9 so far, but their composition is vastly different. It's a 76 for Zombs. He's been very happy to play that of recent and really hasn't played much else. Shadowburn on the D.Va here as well. So we didn't get to see much of that at all in that Lijiang Tower map, but we know Shadowburn can play it. No Genji McCree combo though, so we'll see how this quasi-dive triple tank with a 76 comp works out.
I mean, this is about as standard gets in terms of power comps here in this meta, is the D.Va, Reinhardt, Roadhog, and Shadowburn. He's going to be looking to just win the shield battle with his Reinhardt, where he's going to be buddies with his Reinhardt, help deflect some shots, fire some shots into the other shield, but he gets hooked, immediately thrown out of his mech, and that's a bad look to start things out here for Faze, but too easy, able to even things up in a hurry, finds hook on the Surefour, and that tilts the entire spectrum of the fight entirely here. You're not going to have to worry about Surefour doing all sorts of damage in the back line, and Mendo, trying to even up, gets a hook in the too easy backs off. It's still a 65 here for Faze as they look to put this in their favor.
Cloud9 dealt really well with Zoms there. He had the tack visor, but he went straight in with the defense matrix and got enough damage to get rid of him now. The fight's going to break down over the top side here as Mendo finds Shadowburn with a hook over on the payload, though. It's only really Kai and then Wolf and Adam just trying to support from back. So very much Kai versus the world here, and he is going to struggle. Surefour has respawned, doesn't quite manage to de-suit Shadowburn here, but he has high ground control. So we'll see if that janitor aspect comes into play. Self-destruct doesn't find anyone.
Self-destruct doesn't get anything, but the sound barrier is in here from C9. Factor Fiction trying to make something happen with a late Earth Shatter. Does knock down one. Surefour will go down, and it's Raucous right now, showing a little bit of Ana carry towards the very end. Picks up two, looking for more, but there's the Earth Shatter in from Rib. It's been a great day for Reinhardt's here, Uber. Great Earth Shadows across the board, and it does buy a little bit of time here for C9, but they're still very much on the back foot.
Adam wants to get on the payload, maybe a cheeky boot, just keep this going. There won't be enough time for people to reinforce here, so we'll see, yeah, a couple of those players from Cloud9 who are approaching the payload will back away, try and get those high ground positions here. No big changes in team composition for C9 at this stage. It'll still be Surefour on the McCree, Mendo on that Roadhog. So again, you know, a little bit hard to get consistent damage at this range. Surefour with good aim, of course, but we still see drop-off with McCree. So they'll want to engage a fight. Kai will want to try and isolate a backline target there. He does get bionated, but it should be fine. There is a self-destruct here for Shadowburn, so keep an eye on that one. We've just seen some really good self-destructs on this part of this map specifically in recent times.
Well, look no further than what we've seen Complexity do in recent times, where they actually have practice earned shots, but too easy. Finds Mendo early on here. So, Cloud9 got to pull this back, and Surefour doing just that. Finds Zoms very methodical. 2 shots, and he's gone. Able to take D.Va out of her mech, and Surefour not able to get fully out of it, but has definitely done a lot to help C9 stabilize. Faze still looking for extra picks. Too easy still around, still a threat. And with the sound barrier out from Faze, they're really going all in on trying to push through here, but still having trouble getting through these tanks of C9.
Rolf is doing an amazing job right now, sticking to the back line. He's got fairly sharp sight lines, but he's healed his team enough to buy time for Mendo to get back here. There's the Earth Shatter coming out. Rip doesn't quite find what he's looking for there, but still, this is going to buy crucial time because Surefour is going to be back now. Mendo finds Forsaken off on the edge. Zoms goes down to Kai. Brilliant stuff there as well, and I've got to say, Rolf in mid-air got a slip dart onto Fact Fiction as he was charging Rib. So he keeps Rib alive, he puts Fact Fiction to sleep, gets him caught out, and then spends the next 30 seconds healing his team like an absolute boss. And look what Rib was able to do just then. Keep him alive and let him take care of the rest. Rolf was massive in that fight.
Absolutely. Rolf in keeping his team up has been great. I gotta say, it's amazing to see Rib get himself in positions where he does get that cleanup towards the very end. Just swinging through the room. Nothing to be done. Here comes C9 though. Sound barrier out. They're gonna be more aggressive on this as a result. And Mendo taking advantage of that durability, gets 2 kills immediately. 1 off a hook, grabs another hook. Mendo right now on a rampage, and C9 going the hold here. And there's now only about 1:30 left here, Uber, so time no longer a friend of Faze. Faze are gonna have maybe 2 more pushes here, but even if their first push succeeds, they're gonna have to win the next push immediately thereafter. And if they don't, they're just not gonna have time to actually get to second. So C9 working with a bit of a lead right now.
Yeah, and the fact that Rib has an Earth Shatter now. I mean, it may be an Earth Shatter, but obviously the man with the Earth Shatter himself, Rib, is such a big factor. Deadeye's gonna come out here from Surefour, trying to get in a position to at least catch someone off. He doesn't manage to get the 65, but the rest of C9 are gonna push forward. Good flash on Fact Fiction, but in the meantime, Raucous is moving that payload. He'll need to be dealt with ultimately. But look at that. Rib shields off the Earth Shatter. Fact Fiction gets absolutely nothing for it. And Rib going so deep finds Shadowburn there. It's a trade. Zoms does get him, but look at that. Right behind is Mendo. So this is a broken up fight all over the map. Surefour, great pick on Fact Fiction now. He needs to stay alive for a little bit longer, get some healing on the side from Rolf, and they're going to go again. Mendo's still alive and at large up on high.
Mendo just got the one-shot right click on the Zomzer. That was huge. Didn't even need the hook. Gets a second kill. And it was a point where Faze had an opportunity there to get things going back in their favor. But Mendo and Surefour coming in, getting some very key pickoffs. And now only 20 seconds remaining here for Faze. They're going to have to find a miracle, but it actually will be a miracle. Look at the ultimate situation here, Uber, where Kai just ran the self-destruct, and here we go.
Yeah, it's going to send that one up high, but that's Surefour. Big Deadeye coming out from him. 3 kills. Easy way to clean up the fight. Nothing to be done there at all. Fact Fiction also going down, of course, to the aforementioned. And that's going to be Cloud9. They fire back with a very strong showing here on Route 66.
Final score.
Yeah, that map dominated by Cloud9. I think you mentioned it earlier, Mitch, but Rib, definitely the all-star for Cloud9 in that game. Of course, Surefour got a lot of big picks. I think Mendo got a lot of big hooks as well, but Rib was really creating a lot of space for the team, hitting a lot of very impactful Earth Shatters, and sending this to a third map.
I mean, I got to say, yeah, a lot of big moments. I mean, this is the Deadeye here at Play the Game from Surefour. Now, this is largely unassisted here as well. You can see that the whole hog being used there at the time by Mendo did force some weird positioning out of Faze, so that gives Surefour the opening he's looking for. But if you can still do that with McCree right now, if you can still hit those big Deadeyes, then you still are justified in picking him up, despite some of his limitations at that longer range that we see that 76 isn't perhaps as affected by. High ground available to Cloud9 benefited them so much.
I can tell you what it is in regards to that, is that now that McCree is out of the meta relative to what we used to see, teams get a little bit lazy in the sense that they don't play against McCree every game, which means they're not giving Deadeye the respect that it really deserves in those situations, and then it's like, oh hey, Surefour just killed 3 people because you know what? You're way too used to fighting 76s in the current game,